Howdy, folks. Welcome to another episode of the Reselling Niche Podcast. This is episode we're going to be talking about running your basic business online. Sorry we're a little bit late today, but we ran into a few issues, but I think we're online. And how's the sound over there, Russ?
It sounds good, Mo, but your picture, did you just touch your hair?
I'm always touching my hair. I'm fidgety.
Well, it's still better than picking your nose.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it was just a scratch. It was just a scratch.
Scratch just on the side here.
What's the new? Now, Mo was up in the Sacramento area, and I checked with him yesterday.
Yes.
You're safe.
Yes.
You're good and safe.
You mean from the fires and everything?
Yeah.
You're in the Reading area, which is like, I'm new to this area. I think about 200 miles away from us.
That's what I saw. 150. That I looked on the map. Yeah.
So yeah, but you can, depending on the day, or time of day, you can see smog. You can see stuff rolling in.
Good. Well, it's good you're safe, and hope everybody out there stays safe and they get those under control soon. Those are no fun to be around. I can guarantee that.
I mean, it's like every year, it's like more and more fires.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've dealt with them here in Georgia and in Florida a lot.
Okay.
They can get, if it doesn't rain right, it gets dry and boom, it just blows up hard. So yeah.
Definitely. So we were talking about our topic a little bit earlier. What I wanted to go over was just the basic, like, people always talk about how they can get started, what you need to get started just selling, and maybe that's on eBay or Amazon or wherever, and what you use on a daily basis, what your process is on a daily basis. Did you want to go through a few things?
Sure. You always think of your tools.
Yeah.
And what's the old saying? A worker is only as good as his tools, or the tools are only as good as the one running it, or that type of thing.
Yeah.
And it really, you got to think about your time savers and when I first started out, and even when I came back to Savannah, I was printing out the label, cutting it, and then taping it.
Yeah.
Well, and real quick, I ordered the labels to print them out and just stick them on. It takes time to sit there and cut out a piece of paper, and then grab your tape, all four sides. You're wasting tape. Little stuff like that can really make your business run more efficient. And if you don't do it, it can be very tedious.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, taping each side of that label, you want to cut it out. Of course, I want to cut real perfect lines, and so little stuff like that can just eat your time up.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I remember when I first started, I didn't even really sell hard goods or anything. I basically sold tickets, and this is years ago.
Right.
I didn't have to worry about. Most of them were local pickups. So if I mailed anything, it was in an envelope, so I didn't have to worry about much there. And so when I printed out labels, I would still print out on a piece of paper, and literally, I didn't even have a label printer, even a big one at that point.
Right.
So now I think, the Zebra. I use a Zebra right now, and I use it for both Amazon labels and for my eBay shipments. So it's pretty good.
You buy the roll of, you have like a roll of labels that you buy. Yeah.
Just got set up here, so I don't have it. If I have one here. No, I don't have one right here. But basically, it's just like the white UPS labels. You can buy them online.
Mm-hmm.
Or, if you have an account, sometimes they'll send you some for free. Just talk to, that's a good thing. I definitely recommend talking to either a FedEx or UPS rep.
That you got and I think what's the one, Dynamo now makes a really nice, inexpensive label printer.
Yes.
You can buy them on eBay. You can buy used ones on eBay.
I found them I found Dynamos a couple of times at thrift stores. So.
Have you? I wish, I'm looking to get one because I've just been using a typical. I used a laser printer, and now I'm down to a inkjet. And I just bought the labels that fit for eBay.
Yeah.
And stick it in. So I want to get the Dynamo because, again, there's another time saver.
Yes.
It just prints right out. You just peel it off, slap it on your.
Oh yeah, especially if you're doing Amazon like FBA shipments, you want a Dynamo, just because you can just set it and it will just reel off a bunch of labels. You can do that too with a Zebra. I used to have a hack where you can kind of use the Zebra for your Amazon labels too. Like people talk about using the 30 sheet, I think 30 labels on a sheet thing.
Yeah, a 30 up.
Yeah, those those are more costly. What I would do with the Zebra printer is I would print them out, but the only thing is you kind of have to go back and forth. So I'm talking about FBA shipment now. Let's just say 30 items in your shipment. If you use a Zebra printer, you can set it to where it's going to print out part of it, and then you just go through and you manually delete from that 30, so it goes down to 24 and 18, so forth, and you can use your Zebra printer to print it out. It's not ideal, but if that's all you have, at least you can,
there's a workaround.
Yeah.
And then they make that dual Dynamo that prints out the large and the small.
Yep.
I've seen that, and people use that too. So you kind of go progression. I don't suggest anybody starting out in this business go out and get a Zebra printer.
Nope. I don't. I got mine free because I already had it.
Yeah.
We were a shipping store. I didn't even know that you could. To be honest, when I started with eBay, like I said, I was printing out full page sheets, and then when I started doing eBay at the shipping store, I just said, oh wait, I'm already printing out, because we would already print out FedEx, UPS labels on the Zebra anyway. So that's why I started doing that. And then it's really good. The Zebra can be pretty costly, just like a Dynamo. They're not that cheap. Right. But if you can find one, they work really well for eBay shipments. You can get all your FedEx, you can adjust it so it prints them all out, UPS, FedEx, and Post Office.
Zebra's been like the Cadillac or the premier of printing for a year. I remember back in the early 90s we installed Zebras.
Yeah.
So 25 years Zebras were always, and at the time all that equipment was expensive. It was for a bigger operation.
Yeah.
Those Zebras were about $5,000 a pop.
Oh wow! I didn't even know that.
Oh yeah. They were huge, and they printed out warehousing labels and.
Gotcha.
But back in the days of dinosaur computing. But so you don't want to start out with get away from the cut and paste pretty quickly because it is time consuming.
Unless you like making those doing this cut and paste thing nonstop, because it's a really annoying thing to have to cut and paste constantly.
Yeah.
And then
and then the next thing, Mo, we were just talking about tape.
That's right.
Always have a tape gun and always have good tape. Because if you've got bad tape and you're trying to cut and paste onto a label, if you've got bad tape and you're trying to tape a box, it can absolutely frustrate you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then one thing we should point out, like anybody who has an eBay store, make sure you use up your eBay dollars or whatever they call it, that quarterly allotment.
Right, the 20, is it still $25?
I always mix up what it is. I know it's just, if you have a store, it's a certain amount, and if you have like a bigger store, like an Anchor store.
Yeah, the Anchor goes up.
They get more. I don't know if it's $100 or what.
What do you typically grab with that? What supply do you usually get?
I go for boxes. I've always gone for boxes, but then again, that's always because I always had tape, and boxes. What I would run out of. Well, you run out of boxes and tape, but for me, boxes. Whatever is cheaper. And then also another thing I've noticed recently is a lot of different sizes are missing when you go to order them. Recently that some of the size boxes are not there anymore on eBay. I don't know if they're just not offering them or what.
I like the poly bag. I'm a big poly bag guy.
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, because poly bags, I don't know if you've ever tried to buy a poly bag in like at Walmart or something.
You can't find them locally. No.
You have to order.
You have to order. one time, it was a little over a year. It was when they first started that eBay branding up. I bought the tape, and I have not bought the tape since. It was not in my. It just didn't fit.
The funny thing is that I think I had some eBay tape somebody gave me for free. It worked okay, but I've heard so many people complain about eBay tape, saying it doesn't work that great. I personally have never ordered it, so what I have for free worked fine. I mean, I didn't have an issue with it, but I didn't order it again because for whatever reason, I always go for whatever is more expensive and whatever I'm out of. So I usually over order tape, and I for some reason under order boxes. I don't know why that is.
I get the whole branding of the eBay package. I really do. But I also have a concern because of things like porch pirates.
That's true.
Sometimes you don't want them to know it came from eBay, or you don't. And the branding looks nice, and Amazon does it too on their boxes. But I'm like, they can spend, but and then it makes me think. I think I'm thinking too deep into it because I don't think a porch pirate cares if it's got let's pick the eBay boxes instead of the normal boxes.
That's a big thing around around where my shipping store is, right around the corner. A lot of people would get mailboxes because of that. They would say, we put our mail out for the mailman or the UPS guy, and we don't, go to work, and then we have to worry about, if it really actually even got picked up or not.
It is a huge problem throughout the country. I mean, it's just, and there's options and there's alternatives, but there's no easy option and alternative.
And just quick, want to say hi to people in the chat. We got a couple.
Sure,
people.
Who's in?
John Nevermore Antiques. Now we got TWH Holiday or TW Holiday. So hey guys, how's it going? If you guys want to jump in the chat, I'm gonna put it up. I'm gonna put the link up there. You don't have to, just in case before I forget, because I'm really bad at looking at the chat, even if there's only 2 people there. So, but it's there just in case if you want to. And yeah, I remember there was a lady that came in and she was so upset. She was dealing with the police, literally because she said it was around Christmas. She sells on eBay, and she couldn't ship her stuff out because she had to go to work, so she couldn't actually make it into like a shipping store. So she had to drop off her stuff. She had to drop it off with her husband at his work because she couldn't leave it at her front door because it would get stolen.
Right.
And
leaving, packaging,
and the worst thing actually is our UPS guy that was he was actually at our store. He parked his truck at some residential area. This is Christmas, I want to say 3 or 4 years ago. They went in the back of his truck and grabbed like 50 boxes.
Oh wow!
And just ran off.
And he doesn't know about it until he gets to his place and starts scanning.
I mean, he could tell because they come in, they scan, but these guys must have been. He said these guys must have been watching him, because he said he went to do a normal pickup or drop off, whatever. Goes inside, and then by the time he comes back, a bunch of boxes are missing because everything is allocated a certain way in the trucks.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I know I've heard people too where they've said they've watched people follow the FedEx and UPS and then they'll just go through the neighborhood and pick them right up right after.
Oh yeah, and then I mean. I feel bad because I always track down the post office guys and UPS guys and give them packages. And they've always taken, I've never had an issue with that. The only one I kind of have an issue with sometimes is FedEx sometimes won't, like FedEx Ground usually won't take them. I think it's because usually they're contractors. They're not like UPS. It's like they, one stop, they pick up Express, they pick up everything. FedEx Ground, I think they know who they're picking up from, specific stops, specific packages, and so they can't. Just not allowed to do it.
I'm real fortunate. Our post office is less than a mile away. Right across the street is the UPS store, and then on the opposite side, about 2 miles away, 3 miles away, is our FedEx store.
Yeah.
So we have that. One of the beauties of living in an urban area is things are around like that.
Oh yeah.
So, and we drop we drop, with the Matrix today, we drop our packages at the post office, and they have to scan them. I don't get my receipt, I just have to make sure they scan them.
I'm the same way with the post office. They always see me, and then when I get to the front of the line, they're like, "Oh, looks like you're ready to go. You know, you could have just dropped them over there." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. Just had a couple of times where I missed a scan. Sometimes, not you guys, but could you scan them?" And they just kind of look at me sometimes, and they, scan.
Yeah, they know. So, what are some other little techniques that you've done, Mo, as far as like setting your times or setting? Do you get on like okay, by 2 o'clock I have to have this done?
Well, because as you know, I wasn't really listing or sourcing that much in the last 6 weeks, but in the last, I want to say, week and a half now, what I've been doing is I've been taking pictures. I batch everything. Pictures is number one. So I'll get everything in. I'll usually fill up, like I'm doing shirts right now. So I'll fill up a box. I don't really count how many. I just fill it up. Usually it's like 20 to 30 pieces. And then I'll just picture. So I'll spend like an hour or two taking pictures, whatever that is, while the light's good. Because for whatever reason, the lighting in here is kind of yellowish. So if I take them at night, or if I take them in bad light, they don't show up that well. So that's my first thing, pictures. And then after that, what I'll do is I will, at nighttime usually, I'll go through and I'll list. So I'll do it in 2 steps, pictures and then listing. So what I want to do, my main thing that's helped me is getting ahead with pictures. So like if I'm going to list 25 items a day or 10 items a day, I'll do, 25 pictures. I'll do twice as many pictures. So I'll get ahead for the next day. So I only have to list half of that, and then I'll list the other half. And so I'll keep doing that every night. So I'm always ahead with pictures because that's the hardest thing for me to do. Take pictures in good lighting. Because I'm bad at taking pictures anyway. I don't know what your process is for taking pictures. But that for me is the hardest thing.
If you look at my store right now and look at the items on the store, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different areas I take pictures in. So there's all sorts of different background. Usually the backgrounds, I keep the background simple, but like I've got a 1950s Formica table in the kitchen, and I'll sit there and take pictures. Or I'll take them out here on the hardwood floor for jeans. But my best lighting is in the sunroom in the morning. So I'll try to do my black items in the morning because black just doesn't picture well for me at all.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I'm kind of like you. I don't do the. Well, for one, we didn't have room for a light box.
Yeah.
Here we will once I get the room completely set up. And I would like, that light system Wade has is, Wade's Venture is awesome. It's cool, but it takes up the whole wall,
Yeah. I mean, okay, why don't we break it down by pictures? Because I think this is a good topic.
Okay.
First of all, you said that you do 2 different or 3 different types of pictures in the sense of where you lay the items. So it sounds like you have one on a table, one on the ground. Or is it?
Yeah, I've got my coffee table is my main spot because it's right by our big front windows.
Yeah.
And the morning light comes in there. I've got really nice fluorescent lights in the kitchen that's nice and bright. So like I've started doing my hats on that.
Okay.
And then jeans, because I can stand over them, I take them on our hardwood floor. And hardwood floors give a real nice look on jeans.
Yeah.
But again, I have to do that over by the other window that gets the morning light.
Oh, yeah.
So, without a light box, you do. And, I do understand when you're doing a lot of volume, you want to have that bang, 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 let's put it in the light box. And with Google Images now, everybody wants the white background. But also, sometimes if you have a personal touch to it, where it's not the same, it's not white, you have to remember that like eBay is a consumer to consumer business.
Yeah.
whereas Amazon is a business to consumer business.
Yeah.
And it kind of puts that more human touch to it if there are some different backgrounds or different lighting.
Okay.
Makes that buyer to me, makes the buyer, I'm always trying to get in the buyer's head. And it makes that buyer say, oh, look, he's just, here's a picture of it on the floor. I'm looking at this jeans on the floor and these shorts on a table.
Let me ask you about that real fast, because do you have different, so like your jeans are one kind of background, your hard goods are one kind of background, and you separate it like that so people understand when they're looking, oh, these are Russ's jeans. These are Russ's, I don't know, VCRs or whatever.
No, I hadn't thought of it that deep. It's just kind of where I'm at and where the best lighting is, except for jeans, because you need that. I used to take just like 3 pictures of jeans, like the front, and then bring them up in the table, more. But now I've got room that I can actually spread them out on the floor and stand over them.
Okay.
And, so that's a good idea, is to say like all your jeans, all your clothes are going to be on one background. All your hard goods would be another back, organize it a little bit where it starts tricking the brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I think in the comments we got, John Nevermind Antiques was saying he bought LED bulbs, so that helps.
Yeah, LED is the way to go. It really
that's what I need to do.
It really is.
Right now, I'm using basically natural light, kind of similar to what you were doing. One question I have for you, though, because you said you laid them on the ground. I used to do that, and then I found that about half an hour, 45 minutes in, I couldn't take any more pictures. It's just too hard on my back. It's just kind of uncomfortable.
I can see that if you're batching, like the way you do it, the way you batch.
Yeah.
But I don't batch. I pick an item, build the listing, take the pictures, and then list it.
That actually might be good, because I think what you're doing there is maybe you're bending down to take a picture, and then you're going to sit down and you're going to give your back a break.
Yeah. Because there would be no way, Mo, I could do a batch of an hour of doing, not with my degeneration.
That's
and it's kind of, I too, if it is on the jeans, and I have taken a couple pictures, my arms get real long for the pictures, and I'll kind of slide them to the side and pick them all up in a pile.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
Oh, we've got Bum Crack Picker in
Bum
chat.
Crack.
Awesome. Best name ever. That's a name I was thinking about that because I saw him in a chat on somebody else's show this morning, and that name, it's still as funny as the first time I heard it. So.
So awesome.
Awesome. So what I was going to say about picture taking, though, is one little hack. I don't know if this is a hack. Maybe this is common sense. But I've kind of been doing my eBay shipments kind of all over the place, in rooms that don't have much room at all, like a big messy room. So what I did was I went out and got a bunch of white poster board. And I got the ones, I don't know what you call it, but they come with folds. So like they're like, I want to say about 4 feet by 4 feet, like spread out completely. And then I think a foot in on each side, it folds.
Oh, cool.
The cool thing about that is I can put it up. Let's just say it's on my bed, because I was taking a lot of pictures on my bed. And I would put it on there, and then 1 foot would be up. So that would block out a foot high.
Yeah, and it makes it look like a box, gives you a background and without being, yeah.
Yep, so that helped a lot. Still, it didn't help with the lighting, but at least I had a white background. And the second thing I did was, I don't know what you do with listings with your dimensions on shirts and jeans and stuff like that. I really hate going in. I put all the dimensions in there, but one little thing I do before, because what I'll do is I'll go in and I'll add them after. I'll just have 2 long, like I guess they're 36-inch long rulers. And I'll put it right next to, exactly. Yeah. I just put them next to the shirt, next to the jeans, and I'll just have pictures of those inside the picture.
I used to really, I mean, like, okay, this is this and this is that, and I'll still put it in the description because I am wanting to step my description game up.
Yeah.
But always those pictures, because there's something about, you can put it in there, but if, okay, this is a 3-inch knife,
Yeah.
you know. But, and if you're picturing it by itself, you're not going to see that until your mind is not going to visualize that until you actually see.
Oh yeah.
That it is. So it's really, I was trying to think of one day. Now, I know like Prof Sales, when he was doing jeans, him and Karin were doing jeans, they had like a grid laid out on their picture table.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And I thought that was a really smart thing to do because, boom, every picture showed the size and showed the grid. And that way you didn't have to, and I don't even think I think they got where they weren't even putting the measurements in the listings.
That's such
it was just
time hack there. I mean, actually, that's not a bad idea. I might want to get one of those. I bet you could get like a I don't know, vinyl or like some kind of like plastic thing you can just put over your table.
Mm-hmm.
You probably have them like at elementary schools and stuff like that.
Or even, yeah, it was, I know a sewing table has, you know, a sewing mat has that type of thing. I know I've seen that recently. So, yeah, that's an option too. And that way you always see, well, you know, I sold this knife and it stops returns, what we've talked about, you know, trying to head off. Well, that wasn't a 3-inch, you know, I thought the knife was bigger when you saw the picture of it. You know, so you have that back.
Have you ever you've got that person where you're very clear about the dimensions? Like, for example, I sell a lot of like action figures and then a lot of like action figure accessories. And I'll actually have to put in there, you know, G.I. Joe jacket, not for human, for a doll / action figure. Because I've had people buy stuff. I don't think they bought it and shipped, and I shipped it. They bought it and then they said, wait a second. This is like 3.5 inches long. Like, yeah, it's free G.I. Joe.
It's a G.I. Joe jacket.
So, I mean, I put a penny in there. That penny helps. I mean, it's just.
What's the old Reddit thing? Banana for scale.
There you go.
Yeah, you know, it is. Put some scale in there for things because it does help, and it heads some of that off to where they see it. Because I think most buyers now are flipping through pretty quickly. And they see it, and they don't read the descriptions.
Nope.
No. So they're looking, and you know, oh, it's dimensions, and think about it. We're a visual society, and apps are visual. Everything. We're going to emoji language, so yeah, emoji language. I mean, really, we can speak emoji to each other almost.
That's true. I mean, it makes sense because look at Amazon. Like you used to be able to add a description to a new item, and now you can't. If it's new, it's new, and it's going to be the same as, you know, coming out of the factory.
Yeah, yeah. So you don't even have to add pictures. You don't have to add, right? So you know, something else. I thought of. There was a gentleman here in town that me and him kind of have gotten together, and he was wanting to sell on eBay, and he's in a really neat line of stuff, and he was worried about it like we all were when we first start, and he had a lot of questions, and I said, you know, we met for lunch. I said, here's the app, blah blah blah, the shipping, and I said, just take pictures of it and go, and it was funny because he sent me his pictures, and it was just literally laid out like on his countertop. The item was a bike item, and it was laid on his countertop with an empty bottle of water over to the side, a spoon over to the one side.
All in the pictures?
All in the picture. And Mo, and here's the thing, Mo, the thing sold for like $300.
Yeah, I think that's what you're describing right there is something that is in demand.
Yeah.
It really matter.
That it didn't matter. He could have went and took that picture of that in the mud.
Yeah.
And said, you know, so sometimes, you know, your pictures do matter, but then if it's the right item, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
And he said,
got
you know,
just 10 Pac-Man in chat. How's it going, man?
Justin.
Yep. I always see him on Wade's chat, so good guy.
Awesome. Hey, hey guys.
So, it's funny that you say that about the pictures. One thing I've got in the last 2 weeks, like I said, I just started getting back to listing. And at first it's hard. It's like, oh no, nothing's selling. What am I doing here? I'm kind of slogging away and nothing happens. I really think there is something to everyday listing. And then listing, if you can list consistently, I don't know if it's 10 items, whatever you can do, but do that every day for 10 days straight, you'll see something. That's my goal right now, is to list every day. And then if I know I can't list, say Saturday, Sunday or something like that, I'm going to have stuff ready to go in drafts and just save them in the drafts.
Just save them in the draft. That's the one formula that we've always known and spoke about that has never changed.
Yeah.
That if you want to sell more, you list more. And if you want to sell consistently, you list consistently.
Definitely.
So, and we learned that years ago now, and that's still not changed. And we've always tried to figure out all these formulas, try to get into the algorithm of eBay and how it works, and the promotions, and the, free shipping, free returns. You list more, you sell more.
Exactly. I mean, I've seen it to where, and this has happened twice in the last 2 weeks. I didn't get to list items till, say, I don't know, 7, 8 in the evening. Mm-hmm. And within half an hour, all of a sudden, cha-ching.
Yeah.
After me listing. So, I mean, there's something in there.
Chris, 10K, you say, you do that and eBay shows you a little love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, I've even started, because I'm not maxing out, but my rate right now, I'm going to max out the free listings this month. Because I think I'm up to 250 listed so far this month. And I get the 1,000 free, I think it is.
On which level? You're above the basic.
Medium one.
Yeah.
I guess whatever the medium
one
is.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not medium now because they added, what was the medium one before? It's the $50 a month one. Right. So once they started seeing that I had all those listed, I've got these 2 weeks in a row. I've got this thing where it says if you list between, I think it said August 8th to August 21st, you get free X amount of listings on top of that.
Free insertions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And you start listening, they'll throw you those promotions.
So plus it's slower too. They want you to list now anyway.
I did see something in the fall seller update where they're going to change to unlimited auction style listings with no insertion fee.
Really?
But there was a caveat. It said in there, and I haven't dug into it too deep, but it said unlimited insertion or no insertion fee on unlimited auctions as long as the item sells. And that's the lawyer word right there, as long as the item sells. Does that mean that if it goes through and doesn't sell, then you get charged the insertion fee? So yeah. I want to find out more about that when it comes in, but that would be a nice, not to have to pay that quarter every time.
What they've done is they've incentivized you, saying that, okay, if you do sell this thing, then that listing free or whatever they're giving for free, it's free. Insertion fee is free. That's pretty cool. So I mean,
if you sell it, so I think that's the caveat.
It's all about, because I don't know if you've been watching Amazon now with their inventory thing. They give you an inventory rating now on your inventory.
Right.
So I think that's what they're going towards. They don't have, an inventory, an FBA type inventory thing, but they want you to list things that are in demand. They're pushing towards, whatever their top 100, because I don't know if you've seen the front page. It always says, we recommend selling X, Y, and Z. And then, like, I got an email, but if you click on the email, it takes you to, what's the name of that software? It's not WorthPoint, the other one. Oh, I'm blanking out. Terapeak.
Terapeak.
Yeah. So if you click on it, it takes you to Terapeak, which I thought.
You're talking about through eBay, right?
Yeah. eBay will send you an email, say something like, we recommend selling X, Y, and Z. And then you click on it, and Takes you
takes
to
you to
Terapeak.
Terapeak. And it's an app. Do you know who owns Terapeak, right?
Yep, eBay.
Yeah.
Supposedly, oh yeah, Just 10 was saying it's a premium store. That's right.
Premium.
I have a premium store. So I don't know what, I've heard that Terapeak is going to be free for some people. I don't know who. I don't know if it's Anchor Store or if
I've
it's,
heard that too, that
it's not free yet though. I had it before, but let me see here.
You know, way back, it was what, $19.95 a month or something like that. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's actually, I like WorthPoint and I like Terapeak, but you got to use it. Like I used WorthPoint a lot before I was doing more clothing, when I was doing more hard goods. Then it's
Was
good.
that when you were more on desktop
Yeah, I don't think
than app?
I mean, I think you can look it up from your phone too, but I don't think it's an app. See, I can't.
See,
remember.
I think Terapeak kind of killed itself in the app.
Yeah, I think what it is with Terapeak that I saw is that I think a lot of people stopped using it. Everyone used to use it, and then a lot of people still use it. But like me, I think people are assuming that it's going to be free soon. So I don't know. I haven't used it in a while, but I need to. I don't know if I froze there. If you froze there, Russ, are you still there? Let's see here. Let's see if anybody in the chat. I think I don't know if I froze or you froze there.
Nope. There you're back.
Okay, cool.
Back. So
yeah,
you know, it's funny. This topic came up, and this is kind of like the background stuff that goes on. Me and Mo usually text throughout a day, and Mo said, "Hey, you want to do a show later on today?" And I said, "Sure." I said, "But you set up early." You said, "I got up early. Let's do a show." And what was that, about 9 o'clock?
Something like that. It's early for me.
Yeah, 9 o'clock Pacific time, which is noon here. And I was like, Mo, I've got things to do. I said, I've instilled kind of a new goals thing that I've been working on is every day I list, ship, and source.
Nice.
And, consistently, because there were days that I would list 3 days in a row, bulk list, and then go, man, now my inventory's getting low. And then I want to go to the post office every day. So I just said, these are the priorities that I'm going to do: list, ship, and source.
Yeah.
And once I get the listing, the amount of listings that I want done for the day, I get them done. Now I do my shipping. I get it together, do the shipping. And then after that, I go sourcing. Yeah. And some of my sourcing can be online too. So
that's some of the best sourcing you can do, actually. It's funny, with my sourcing recently has been basically on Craigslist, picking up from individual people. Mm-hmm. I haven't done much like at the thrift store, at a retail store at all. And I've been finding more stuff in bulk, which has helped, especially because my time's kind of all over the place. Yeah. And so that way what I can do is I can just do like...
Your time and your location is still... You're still running multiple locations.
Exactly. So like right now, I don't even have my shipping set up now. Actually, that's one other thing. Everything I have right now in my store is set to 10-day. I have 10 days to ship it out. So, which is, I was wondering about that if I'm going to have sales. I still have sales every single day with that.
That's awesome.
I mean,
they don't look at it.
No, every now and then I'll get one person that says, "Oh, when are you going to ship this out?" And I'll just respond right away. I'll say, we're on vacation. We'll get to you within 72. I'm still shipping within 72 hours. I'm not shipping after 10 days. But going back and forth, I have my shipping station set up in the Bay Area only. So, like tonight, I'll probably be going back there. So I'm going to do all my shipping and then have it shipped off for tomorrow morning.
That kind of shows you, Mo, that when they came out with this, 1 day, 24 hours, same day, if you've got on-demand, and it goes back to what you said, if you have an on-demand product, the person's not looking at, wait a minute, they got 10-day shipping on that. No. They're people that don't care. They just want the product.
Yep. And that, well, that's one big thing. I know a lot of people talked about it before. Vacation settings are pretty much useless, I would say. I mean, it's basically like an email note. The handling time is the important thing.
Is the important.
I made that mistake 2 years ago, and that's why I got dinged for it. I got not a negative feedback, but I got a late shipment because I set my vacation settings. Oh, we'll be back on blah 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 date, and then I didn't change my handling time. So then something was late,
Hey,
and that's all.
is Nevermore still in the chat?
I'm not
Is
sure.
John still in there?
John's still there. He was here earlier. I don't know if we'll see if he responds on the chat. He was there. We'll see.
I was going to ask him a question, see about because he's in a unique situation that he doesn't live near a major metro area. He lives in a smaller, but he's kind of out in the country. So
No, he's there.
he's there. John, what is kind of like one of the processes you do?
Nope. He just lost Russ. Or I don't know if he lost Russ or he lost Mo. Let's see here. Is that my internet or Russ's? Okay, I think we lost Russ there. I think he was about to ask about processes for being out away from a metro area. So if you can hear me, John, that was the question. I think he got about halfway and he dropped off. So if you have any tips on how to source in maybe not a repeat Russ. All right, well, Russ gets on here. I'll ask him to say that again. But basically, what I've been doing in terms of sourcing is I haven't been sourcing from thrift stores. I haven't figured out what the good stores are up here. I'm about 200, no, not 200, about 110 miles away from the Bay Area up north now towards the Sacramento area. They seem to have a lot of thrift stores and things, so I've gone to a few of them, but I haven't found out which ones are good and which ones are bad. Because I used to have a routine that I had in the Bay Area that I would go to based on stores, retail stores, thrift stores, and I had it down packed, like including the Goodwill outlets, which ones to go to, which ones not to go to. And I don't have that here. So what I did was I actually just called up some people that I've done some kind of wholesale bulk buys with, and I've been doing real well. I picked up, I want to say, about 500 pieces of clothing from a friend of mine in the Bay Area before I came up here, and it's basically about 10 big plastic tubs worth of clothing. A lot of it is like tank tops, it's like motocross, like Fox and that kind of stuff. And then a lot of vintage T-shirts, vintage hats, a lot of North Face, a lot of Patagonia, that kind of stuff. And I'm not sure why, but he has multiples of the same thing. I don't know if you guys get that. For example, I have like this one Patagonia. It's like the same size, black vest fleece thing. And he's got it in black. He's got it in maroon. He's got it in dark green. He's got it in blue. And he does that with every brand. Like for Nike, he has the same thing. For North Face, he has the same thing. So it's kind of cool that it's kind of like a bulk buy, but it's not like a wholesale from a wholesaler. It's from a person. But it's been helpful for me because I got a lot of stuff without having to waste a lot of time sourcing. So that's what I've been going through, and I still have buckets and buckets and buckets of the stuff to go through. So I've been listing probably about 20 to, I think my highest is like 31 items a day for the last 10 days, 8 days, something like that. So that has been a big help because I've noticed my numbers are going up, even though I have that 10-day handling time. So I'm just wondering if I ever get off the 10-day handling, hopefully my sales are going to go up. I'm not sure if you guys, what your handling is, but my handling used to be 1 day. And after that, usually, I mean, like if I went on vacation or something, I just basically put it out to whatever I'm going to be back. So like 5 days, 6 days, but I've never been on 10 days before, but it seems like the same thing. I don't have an issue selling on a daily basis, but it's also the slow season, so I don't really care about testing things out. Hey, John, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was me that dropped or Russ. I was just talking. I was hopefully talking to somebody there, but
yeah, I seen that he had fell out, so I figured I'd jump in with you and
appreciate it, man.
give you somebody to talk to.
Yeah. So yeah, I think his question was about because I've watched a lot of your videos, and then you're not in a metro area, but you seem to have like a lot of like auctions and like other cool places to check out to source from. So how's the sourcing where you are?
Well, that's one thing that I'm pretty fortunate. We actually have a whole lot of auctions around us, and I was pretty much raised in the area. I run the buy sell trade page, so it gives me an opportunity to find a lot of merchandise that way. But normally between I don't really hit a lot of the estate auctions. I traveled to St. Louis. I have one really good Goodwill location, and I go to yard sales a lot, and we just find a lot. I find a lot of weird stuff. Let me go to my eBay. Like I just recently listed some items, and I listed some vintage wooden goblets, like old wooden, like it still has the bark on the outside of them. Rear view or a side mirror for a Mustang, a couple of snowboards, handheld video games, and a lot of the stuff that I list, like I don't find, like I'm not out finding the like the high-end clothing and stuff like that. I'm looking at weird stuff. Like I bought 3 or 4 athletic supporters for young men to wear, to keep their cup in. And they sell for 20 something bucks. And a lot of people would walk right past them at a thrift shop. And I've been programmed so long to be able to utilize the stuff in my area that I look outside of the box on so much stuff. You just have to.
Yeah, no, definitely. Because I'm trying to figure out, like I said, this area now, because I'm brand new. We literally are still in boxes right now. We've been moving up this summer. So what I'm finding is it's kind of less, like in the Bay Area, you get a lot of more high-end stuff, but the prices are higher. So I'd have to leave it half the time. I mean, crazy prices. I'm talking about, what did I see yesterday? I think I saw these 2 train sets at a Savers. This is in Pleasanton, California, so kind of on the edge of the Bay Area. You never guess how much they are. One was $249.99. One was $149.99.
Wow.
Now I know one was a Lionel. I think that's how you pronounce it, Lionel. But it didn't look complete. Yeah. And I'm like, you're kidding me, right? I mean, where the hell did you get those prices from? I mean,
yeah, because they would have to be. You can tell a pre-World War II train from a post-World War II because the pre-stuff is made out of metal. Yeah. And even then, you're really pushing it to be able to find anything that's worth that much money. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and like, I think I was listening to like Ronnie Hart this morning. He's talking about the boutique stores are popping up. I don't know if you have those in your area too. Like our Salvation, I think 2 Salvation Armies have boutique sections inside there, inside a Salvation Army, which makes no sense to me because half the stuff in there isn't even that good, which kind of makes me laugh. But because there's better stuff in the rest of the store. But I mean, I think to your point though, I think knowing what to source, like you said, sourcing better stuff, things that people won't necessarily be looking for, is the best thing. And
yeah, that's how many I don't know how many times the people have been like, man, I never thought about that. Man, I never thought about that. I just made a post in the Reseller Society about a big Annabelle doll that I buy. It's a big Raggedy Ann, and she's like probably 16 to 20 inches big, and it's based off the movie The Conjuring. Yeah. And you start looking at stuff that's outside I don't know. It just I don't have a wheelhouse. I everything within reason is something that I'll sell, and I go to the bins and I start. I mean, my philosophy is it's easier to ask for forgiveness than beg for permission. And they had a big old computer there, and I was like, man, that's from like 1995 or 96, and it ended up being from 98. And I'm like, man, I bet you that's got an old motherboard, processor, and memory. I would just love to have that, but there's no way I'm paying for the whole case because that's going to end up there. And if I don't get what I want out of it, it's going to end up going to the dump wherever the stuff goes once they wheel it out. So I flip out the multi-tool, take the case apart, pull out the motherboard, the memory, and the processor, and I put it in a different box, and I put the case back together and set the case back over there because the case still had value. I think the old computer cases, that case probably would have sold for about $50 on eBay, but I just didn't want to mess with it. And I knew that nobody else in there was going to buy it. It was in the row of bins that was getting ready to be taken off the floor and be thrown in the trash. So I was like, what are they going to do? Tell me not to do that. So I just went on and did it. And I bought the motherboard and stuff. And that motherboard, processor, and memory, that will sell for probably about $140.
Jeez.
But I don't suggest that. I mean, I don't do stuff like that all the time, but I'm an opportunist. You know, you got to make hay while the sun's shining, and it's just going to get pitched anyways. But when I do go to the bins, like I have no problem. Like if there's a big projector there, I picked it up for a while, and I don't want to buy the whole projector. I'll open it up, take the bulb out. If you see a remote control car and it's got a battery in it, open it up and take the battery out because the battery is going to bring you $10-12, and the remote control car. So, and that's just a little bit of what I do, but I'm looking around, looking at all the stuff I got around me, just trying to find something to kind of give an example of some of the stuff that I purchased. But I don't know. It just, we don't have high end stuff. I live in Missouri, so.
No, I mean, I think the idea of eBay and high end is I mean, everyone says that most of what they sell is new stuff, but the competition for that stuff, I mean, I'm with you. I'd rather buy in bulk or buy like cheaper stuff in bulk or buy different stuff. Like,
hey, Krillin, what's up?
Hey, Krillin, what's up, man?
How you doing?
Pretty good.
Guys sweat?
This is the box that I found. It was a categories box. It was empty. There's always all kinds of empty stuff at the bins, and I've got this thing. I need some anti-static stuff. That's probably sounding like Niagara Falls coming through my microphone, but that's the motherboard and processor. And it's just, this is the kind of stuff you got to look for. Think outside of the box. Nice. If you're at a yard sale and they got an old computer there and it looks like one of those old computers, if any of you guys went to school back in the 1990s when they had them big goofy looking white computer towers, if you see those, get them. They're money. And another thing to be looking for all the time, I mean,
John, what do you think they're like? Old tower, what do you like? Let's say you see, all right, let's say you're at the garage sale or whatever, you see the old tower sitting there. What do you pay for it? What do you go up? You don't know nothing. Normally you don't really see them too much because there's no perceived value. That's the thing, is you got to find the merchandise to where there's absolutely no perceived value in it. No, I got you.
But there's a lot of value.
But let's say you walk up to the house, garage sale. You see it there on the towel, on the blanket on the front of the house. Yeah. And you see it there. What do you pay for it? $10?
At the most, $5.
So let's say I got to get let's say it's a brand you don't know. Like sometimes they have those stickers that will put on, and you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like some custom made thing. Oh my Lord, my wife's sleeping behind me.
So like one of those custom jobs. So let's say they say 20. Do you go for it?
I don't know.
Over here, man.
It would have to be if it was a 95, or a 98.
It's got to be Windows 90.
I don't know.
3.8.
Yeah, I don't. I probably. Yeah, if it was like Windows 95, 98, I might. I would just have to, I might say, hey, I'm going to crack this open. I want to see what's inside. I mean, if it's from like the 80s and it's got like a Windows, or if it's got like an old SX or a DX chip, like
there's no Windows in
33 megahertz, 25 megahertz, like with that kind of technology in there. Yeah, because some of those old ones, they had ad lib. Hey guys, you need to be quiet, okay? I got the kids behind me. You can see running around in his underwear. That I have an ad lib sound card, and some of those sound cards sell for $300. Hey, I'm not telling you again. You need to go over there, okay, guys? Hey, gotta lay the law down with them. My house is a daycare. I can't wait. We're gonna be getting foster kids eventually, and it's gonna get better. But this is something that I picked up from the bins, and it was a Windows 2000 Professional, and you can find this stuff at the bins. These are there all the time. I bought that for nothing, probably a dime, and it'll sell for $25. But if you find Windows 95, Windows 98, ME, XP, it's gold. Even if it's used, it's still gold.
I have all my old towers in the garage right now, probably about 7 of them. And I think 6 of them are XPs, and one of them is a Vista, I think. And I never thought I was paranoid about taking, because the hard drives are still there, so I need to clean out the hard drives, I guess. But yeah, I need to sell all of those. Full cases.
Yeah, because you can
part out, or you scrap them, or part out.
Yeah. I mean, I'll probably part it out because I'm guessing the way I am, I use it till it breaks. So I'm sure there's something in it that doesn't work. But yeah, I need to go through all of those. I mean, those cases.
What I'll do with that motherboard that I got is that I'll list it as untested. I'm just honest. It's untested. It was pulled from a working machine, but if it gets to you and there's an issue, contact me and let me know, because I've got nothing in it, and I'll refund their money. So it is what it is. It's making me a little bit more leery about selling stuff, electronics, that I can't test due to the issues that people are having with the marks, with getting marks on your account and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. I don't really see too many full towers, actually. I've seen them more at garage sales than at like a thrift store or something like that. Usually what I see are keyboards. I picked up a bunch of keyboards in other languages, actually. Those do
really?
Yeah. And it's funny. I picked up 4. They look like they were wrapped in plastic. I don't know if they were new. Russian keyboards. And I sold these in the last 6 months. And they were sitting there at a thrift store. 4 of them. I don't know why there were 4 of them. But yeah, they sold. I had to look up the language. I didn't know until right away.
Well, it could be Greek.
Could be.
Greek and Russian is the same.
They use the same script, or is it? Or
yeah, it might be a little different, but they call it the Cyrillic letters.
Okay.
The words are different, but they know. Like if you ask somebody who's Greek and you say, well, they can kind of sometimes figure it out.
Okay. But yeah, these sold right away. So that was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, foreign stuff like that.
I was hoping Russell's going to roll back in.
Yeah, I don't know because he was saying yesterday it was like we were supposed to go on I think 2 days ago, but then he had like a thunderstorm. But I don't know if that same thing happened again. But that's funny. He was mid-question, so.
Yeah, my internet having issues with my internet, and I just got a message back from them, and they said they're working on the equipment. So we'll see if that helps. Every evening, my internet sucks, and starting about midnight, I always call it people watching Netflix and porn, and they're streaming, and I never get it, and I can't do anything. So that's why I haven't been doing any live shows, because they've just been it's been disappointing.
I don't know what it is. Is it summer and everyone's home, or is it? I mean,
yeah. It is. But even when they go back to school, as soon as the kids get in, 5 o'clock, 3 to 5, then they're going to be jumping right on their video game systems and wanting to play, whatever they're playing, Fortnite, Call of Duty. But how are you liking your new house? I love that staircase behind you, man. That thing is awesome.
Thanks. If I was on, this is a PC right here, so I can't move the camera around. But
yeah,
maybe I will if I'll do this on a laptop. Yeah, this house is. I mean, we couldn't do anything like this in the Bay Area. We just couldn't afford it. It's nice.
Where did you end up?
It's near Sacramento.
Where did you end up going to?
It's kind of
Sacramento.
Nice. Sacramento. So probably about I've been in Fremont before, which is kind of like between San Jose and Oakland. So this is it's new. The weather's a little bit warmer, but it looks pretty nice. Everything's a little bit bigger out here, and slightly more less of a strenuous pace out here. But it seems nice. I like it so far.
There's not as much probably stuff to source, but man, I can tell you what, bro. If I can make a living doing this in Southeast Missouri, you'll be okay in California. I know you do other stuff, but like you'll be fine. There's still got to be a nice. If I lived in St. Louis, man, they probably have 15 Goodwills and 1 Savers. They have something called St. Paul de Vincent, like Catholic charity thrift shops.
Oh yeah,
they have 2 bins. Those bins are awesome up there. I did a video on them, and they're huge. I went to Tennessee, and somebody was like, man, our Tennessee bins, they're pretty good. And I went into that place, and I thought it was the Thunderdome. I was the only person there that I think spoke English. I was like, man, this place it's hot. And I'm like, oh, my Lord, I don't know what I got myself into. Send me back to St. Louis. I clicked my heels together.
one of the bins in the Bay Area, I think it's kind of near Oakland. It's kind of like that. You have different groups, and they basically buy by the pallet. There are bins that people are going through, but these guys come and they show up with their trucks, and they're buying pallets of stuff, clothing and electronics and whatnot. And
I wonder what they do with it.
I've actually asked the guy, and he said that because we're not that far from Mexico. He said they truck it down to Mexico, and then another group. They said they fly. I forget what country they're from. It wasn't Mexico though. It was another. I think it was somewhere in Asia. And he said they put it all together. They put it on pallets, and they just take they go through the stuff they like, and then they send it overseas.
Wow.
What is this in California?
Yeah, in the Bay Area, and the Goodwill bins. Not all of them, but one of them. It's like all pallets. Like people.
Really?
Yeah. They say, okay, what do you want for the? They knew what they were doing. I mean, I've only ever bought a pallet once, and I bought a pallet of shoes. And
so it's one full pallet of shoes. It's in that big tub, right? Well, actually not a tub.
Yeah. They call it a Gaylord. So it was pretty cool because they allowed me to go through it. They pulled out one full of shoes. They pulled out an empty one. And I said, what's that for? He said, well, you're not going to take all of those, are you? Go through it, throw out the ones you don't want. We'll toss them. And they have like a giant dumpster on the side. Yeah. And then I went through it. I mean, that was pretty cool. I mean, it took me a long time to go through those. I'm not a big fan of shoes in general. And then used shoes. They're
gross. Especially, look, in my Goodwill bins, forget about it. You go there and it's like, this, I don't even want to touch them. They're so skeevy. Yeah. Because you can't really wash shoes.
No.
You know what I mean? How are you going to wash shoes? I see people touching the bottom of the shoes, and I'm like, man, have you ever been to a baseball game before? I mean, the bottom of the shoes. I mean, that's just me. I don't like to touch the bottom of the shoes.
No, I'm in there with gloves, and then I see a lot of people, and then they had full masks on and gloves, and nobody's got that's on. So I mean,
I barefisted it.
What was that?
You sell clothes?
I have been. I used to not sell any clothes. Now I sell a lot of clothes. I kind of go for what I can get the most of. Right now, I just got a bulk deal of like 500 shirts from this guy. He's basically like a hoarder, but he won't mind me saying that. He's kind of a friend of mine, but he just buys a lot of stuff. He buys them on eBay too. That's why I liked it, because the stuff doesn't smell like a thrift store. So,
but you're going but over there, you should have good estate sales there.
awesome estate sales. I just don't know them where I've just moved to. But like if you go to like Oakland, San Francisco,
yeah,
you can you can't really tell by looking at the descriptions, but some of them, like these big old houses, are really good.
I got news for you. The key in the estates, because I make on my channel, I make videos all the time about the estate sales.
Okay.
The key is you gotta be very friendly with the companies. It took me 3 years, 2-3 years at least, before I built up the relationship with the companies where before the weekend starts, they text me and say, oh, by the way, I got this, I got that, I got the other thing. Because it's always better when they initiating with you rather than you going there and say, oh, how much is this? And then they give you a big price. And then, because a lot of people, because 9 times out of 10, most estate sales, the sticker price you see is very high. It's a lot of times it's higher than eBay prices. So people all the time, I look in the chat, people are like, oh my God, I ain't going to the estate sale. They wanted, but I got so many items. I'll see it could be $100. I'll come back. I'll get it for $20.
Yeah.
You know, but if you go up to them and you start saying, hey, look, I'll give you blah, 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 they'll tell you, you know where to go.
Yeah.
But if you're friendly with them, you'll get to know the feeling and they'll say, hey, you know, what do you want to pay for that? And you say, once you get to, especially when they know that you sell on eBay, you can, look, I have one lady, I show her my phone. I says, look, this is what it's, I mean, of course I show her the lower listing. I don't show her the, you know, the better listing. I show one with the crappy pictures that really got like half the price, right? I mean, but it's not lying. No, you know what I'm talking about, John. But,
I know. Hey, it's a game, man. I know what you're saying.
I show it to her. I'll show one with an auction that got sniped or something. When I'll say, look, this is all it really goes for. I can only pay X. See what it goes for. I mean, if you want to do it, you can, you know, whatever. If not, because once they know that you're not buying it for yourself. But some people walk in there, oh, I'm a reseller. They'll say, oh yeah, I'm a reseller too. You know what? I'm selling this stuff. So, but once they know you and they start smiling at you, because remember, these companies, they have overhead. They got to pay insurance. They got to pay advertising. They have workers to pay for. So a lot of times people, they think it's a garage sale. What they'll do is they'll get there real early. They'll get there 8 o'clock in the morning when the door opens on the first day, and they'll try to get steals. It's very hard to get steals 8 o'clock in the morning because you know what? A lot of states, I'm sure, like you said, you've been to sales in the good areas. In San Francisco, you're talking about very, very high wealth areas.
Yeah.
So when you go there, there's going to be 1,000 people at the door. I bet you go there, there's 50, 60 people, right?
Yeah, half time you can't even get in the first time because there's been
can't even get in. So so that's the thing is a lot of times you go back a little bit later. Now 3 or 4 o'clock, say, you know, it's 3 or 4 o'clock. People are starting to leave. Now there's not that many people. Now you go in there. It's the end of the day. Now they're going to start moving with you because remember, half of those people went in there with those super high prices, and they says, you know what? Forget it. I'm not paying those high prices. They left. And they're going to another sale. They're going. Taking their wife out.
And they don't come back. Yeah.
They ain't coming back. But when you come back, you say, look, you know, you talk to the lady running the sale, say, you know what, I kind of like this. And then you get the feel. She'll ask you. She'll say, you know what, I got to get rid of this. Or say, oh, you know, I'll buy that whole closet. What can you do if I buy that pile? I'll make a pile. Always like that term, make a pile.
Yep. That's actually, I go in there with a box, like an empty box, because a lot of times they don't have boxes. And then I kind of sit around and I'll just I kind of eye people out. There's always going to be one guy that's more talkative than the other ones. And I'll just kind of stand next to whatever the conversation is and then just I'll butt in there somewhere.
Yeah, you hang around. Also, you know, a lot of mistake people make is they look at the 4 days, 4 days. You don't want to go anywhere near a sale that's 4 days. Those people, they're not looking to sell that merchandise. 4 days. That means they're not interested. You want to look for 1 or maybe 2 days.
Yeah.
Anything more than a 2-day estate sale. I mean, if it's a 3-day sale, that means it's like Elvis's estate, where it's like, you know, 10,000 square foot house, 12,000 square foot house, tons of stuff. But if it's a regular house, just like a nice house, like something, you know, 2,000 or 3,000 square feet, and it's like, what's it saying? And they want to do like 3-4 days. They're not serious. They're not looking to sell it. They're just saying, well, we'll see if we sell it, and if we don't, we'll do something else with it, you know?
Yeah.
Because most companies, they want to make that money. The company, because a lot of times people say, I'd rather go to the sale run by the homeowner. But no, you want to go to somebody who's looking to hustle. They're looking to sell the stuff.
Yeah, I prefer dealing with the estate sale companies because they want to get rid of the stuff.
Exactly. I'm going to show you what I sold, John.
What'd you sell?
I just sold something. I just dug through about 10 bins. I couldn't find it. And then I started talking. Now I got distracted. Give me a minute.
You can't blame us. We'll blame Russ. He's not here.
Yeah.
I just sold this now, just as we were talking. Can you read that?
Bada bing.
That is cool.
You remember that?
I thought it said Bobing. Thought it said Bobinga for a second. Sopranos. That is too cool.
You like that, right? Just sold it.
That is nice.
From Savers. You guys have Savers out in California, right? Or the Value Village, they call it, right?
Yeah, they don't have them up here near Sacramento, I think, though. Like in the Bay Area, they have them all over the place. San Jose, there's like 4 of them. And like, no, they're called Savers out there. But I like Savers. You pay more, but you get better stuff.
Yeah, more. And the best part about the Savers, see now, Savers is the opposite from the state sale. You got to get there at the right time, early, as they're pushing that merch out. I grabbed this woman. She had the coats in her hand. I know this is not nice, but I'll stand right behind her, right as she's putting the jackets on the rack, and I'll be like watching her. I pulled out this jacket. It's a very expensive brand. It's called Keaton Alanabali. It's very hard to find. And I pulled out the jacket, 100% cashmere. And they had it out there for like $7.99, and I ended up getting like $175 for the jacket. Nice. But that was because, not that happens every day. I'm not saying, I do it every day. But, I was watching the lady. They put it right on the rack. Boom. You got to know. That's the thing. You got to make sure you got, like my Savers, they put merchandise out from like Tuesday to Saturday or Tuesday to Friday, and then the other days they don't put merchandise out because it gets on the weekends they do sales and stuff. It gets too packed.
Yeah,
some people say it come out every day.
I only usually source Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's just Fridays and Mondays. They're just starting to put it out there, and a lot of times like Salvation Armies are closed on Mondays too. I think Sundays and Mondays.
Sunday.
Some of them actually close 2 days a week.
Really?
The Pauls are closed on Mondays around here. I don't know why, but
Savers I like much better than Salvation Army.
It's like a slightly higher end thrift store.
Well, but also, what I like too is a lot of the patterns. See, like say clothing, right? I buy clothing. I'm saying if you buy clothing, they put stuff out by the color, right? Obviously, I'm just talking about my experience in my store. I don't know about the rest of the country, so anybody who's watching it, I don't know in the whatever. But they put the stuff out by the color, and always in the front they put the new merch in the front, and then they constantly put the new merch in the front, so the old merch gets pushed back. So if I go on a Tuesday, now I'm gonna go back. Say like I go back on a Thursday or a Friday, I kind of already know what was put out there a few days ago, so I don't have to go through the whole like with Salvation Army. To me, they just throw stuff on the rack. That's it. They just chuck everything, and there's no sizing. They don't put size. They just everything just boom, 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 and they use that chemical, that dry cleaning chemical. Remember you talked about the smell? Yeah. Yeah.
No, I think Savers is pretty similar throughout the country because I watched a lot of videos, and they look like the way they laid it. I was watching John's video actually. You were in a Savers like not too long ago too, I think, and it looks nearly identical. The layout, the way they, I don't know about the pricing, but the way they lay out everything looks the same, pretty much.
Savers is expensive, but if you take in stuff at my Savers, if you take in so many bags of merchandise, they'll give you 30% off. So you just gotta take in stuff. And for me, going to auctions, what I can do, we get a lot of junk. But what I've thought about is I go to auctions and I can buy stuff off the table for $1, buy a whole table for $1, and then I just put it in some it in the back of my car. So when I go to Savers, I just donate it and get that little 30% off. And you just got to learn how to manipulate stuff. Like they had 3 DVD VCRs, and they were $10 a piece. And I'm thinking, dang, if I had 30% off coupon, they'd only $7 a piece, and I could save all that money, and they'd be worth buying. But I just skipped over it that day. I didn't bring anything, and I don't know. I needed to be more.
John, your tin can is breaking up.
I'm sorry. Yeah, my internet. Sorry, it sucks.
Nah,
well, I know you got the bunny ears on top of the roof. The 2 wires.
Yeah, no, right.
I'm the same way at Savers. I actually have a pile in the garage, and I take it out. But when that pile runs out, to donate, I just check out Craigslist free, especially if you do it Monday morning, and you can always pick up clothes. Usually it's baby clothes, but they don't care as long as it's bagged up. They don't look through it. So I just have 6 bags of stuff. You get 30% off, and you go on your way.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell you another thing too. I don't know if you do that. I forgot your name again. I'm sorry.
Mo.
Another thing you could do is I'm Rob, by the way, and I'm sorry I didn't introduce myself.
No worries.
Another thing you can do is I just did a couple weeks ago. Put wanted ads on the Craigslist. A lot of people, they don't even think to do that. Put wanted ads. I buy this. I buy that. I buy anything. It doesn't matter. Take you 5 minutes. Post a listing. I got one guy. He's like, yeah, I did a clean out. I have all these brand new suits, all with the tags. And then a lot of times you get like if you're a clean out guy, most time, and that's another thing too is people don't realize there's so much other sourcing places. Like there's guys who do, they clean houses out or clean out lockers. They don't even really go on eBay, or they don't know anything about clothing. They don't know anything about even collectibles really. They just want to. When they're buying stuff at whatever it is, they're looking to sell like a furniture piece or jewelry or other stuff. They just want to get the other stuff. They like stuff that's to be tested, measured. So they don't want to know nothing about that.
Yeah.
They just get rid of it. And guys who have death. I mean, look, everybody here has death piles. We don't have to, we can all be honest with ourselves. But these people have death mountains because they're buying lockers or they're doing clean outs or they're doing whatever it is. So they have mountains of stuff. They'll call you. I had a guy, he's like, look, $1 a shirt, $1 of this. And it's people don't realize it saves you so much time when you have the merchandise coming to you.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, of course we all like to run and look for merchandise, but what's the worst? I had the best deal I ever got. This woman had all these DVDs, and usually DVDs are worthless. CDs and DVDs. But she had import DVDs and CDs.
Okay.
And some import, I picked up this one that she had. I was like, and I didn't even want to look it up on my phone because I was just coming in and out. And I was like, you know what, I'll go buy. She had a Greek singer, this woman, her name is Nana Mouskouri. Only popular really in Europe. And I thought it was a sealed box set. I'm like, maybe it's going to be worth $30-$40. I paid like $5 for it. It's worth like $400 or $500. And I'm like, how the hell did this girl have, sometimes you never know what people are going to have in their garage. You just never know.
That's true. Actually, and with those want ads, another one you can do is for supplies. I used to do it for boxes and bubble wrap.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now, who's calling you, though?
I mean, I used to have a shipping store. So what I did was the guy that previously sold it to me said, set yourself up with your city and then become a recycle center. All that means is people drop off boxes to you. You're not actually recycling anything. We reuse them. So you can look up in your county, in your city, if you're allowed, like you could set it up maybe with a P.O. box even and just say, you know what, I recycle boxes and bubble wrap and styrofoam peanuts or whatever. And they'll bring it.
They'll bring it to you.
Yep, bring them to you. Yeah. I mean, nobody who wants 50 boxes all, the same size and 20 bags of peanuts if you're not going to use them. I mean, it's just taking up space. And they'll thank you. I've had people bring me food and bring me the stuff because they're happy to get rid of the stuff. I mean,
the same thing too with the junk. Like I'm sure you watch this guy, Jory, who's in Canada.
Yeah.
In Canada, they have places where people literally drop off electronics, and they like literally. He's like, they just literally hand me electronics, and it's like, the greatest thing ever. Because it's like something. It's like, man, how is this even legal? But people, they recycle it and they bring it to you, or whatever the hell it does. You know, they want to just get rid of stuff. So another thing too is what was I saying? Something else I did that was about something with Craigslist. I don't remember now. No, I forgot. But I'm saying, like you said, you put the ads. There's a lot of people still on Craigslist. Craigslist has a bad name for some reason in this YouTube reseller community. People don't like Craigslist for some reason. But
no, I think it's because Craigslist means you have to actually talk to somebody, even through an email. And you're going to get the weird call every now and then. And I don't know. I think Craigslist just moves fast in my area, so people don't follow up with that. Like, you put an ad up, it gets pushed to the bottom of the page. Just put it up again in 15 minutes. I mean, it's not that hard.
But that's one thing I don't like about I use the other one too, Facebook Marketplace.
Okay.
But the only thing, but I have it. But I'm not good with Facebook. I'm not a computer man.
Yeah.
When it comes to technology, I still have an AOL email. Like, I'm still like when John's talking about the 1990s. I'm still in the 90s. You understand? Look, I live home with my parents, and I still have all my stuff. Everything is all the same. You know what I mean? I got a long story, but. You know what I mean? I still got my Little League baseball trophies and my other shit here. Do you understand? I don't change much, all right? So
it's kind of hard to bring the ladies home. What'd you
say?
Is this your son's room? I said it's kind of hard to bring the ladies home. They're like, "Is this your son's room?" Why does he got all these He-Man figures?
Yeah,
who's He-Man?
That's what hotel is for. But I got the big tube TV, So, but anyway, make a long story short. Nah, he sidetracked me, man. What the heck, man? Sorry. What I was gonna say. But Mo,
I derailed that train.
Job, Mo?
I literally shut down a shipping store it's a little bit over a month now. So
like a UPS store?
Similar.
Like that kind of place?
It was independent. Basically, I would pick up from auction houses. And it started off as a full-blown like retail store, so people walk in, drop off just mailboxes, all that kind of stuff, and then it turned into I just dealt with a couple of private clients. Like they would literally, like this one guy had 50 vases that he would pick up in Oakland and ship to Hong Kong, and so it was just stuff like that, and that's kind of how I fell into getting back into eBay and stuff like that.
So you're a shipping master.
I wouldn't say I was a master, but I've done pretty much everything to do with shipping.
Like I could show you a picture of something and be like, how do I ship this? And you'd be like, look, you're going to need a box. It's going to be like this. You're going to need boom. Do you have those? I don't even know. You have those channels on your videos on your channel, like how to ship?
I mean, to be honest, when I had the full-blown store, I never did any shows at all. I should have when it was inside. I mean, I could have had because we had the full brick and mortar for like years. So like I was
setting partner.
I'm sorry?
You had a partner?
Not really. It was just me.
Oh, they said we.
Yeah, it was just me. Just like a small little location. I mean, I've done it all. I've had like warehouses. We had employees. Then we got to a small little office where I outsourced most of it, like making crates and all that kind of stuff. So I've done pretty much everything.
So you got to help me. I bought at an estate sale. I bought a WWE, WWF, whatever. Folding chair that was it was from one of the pay-per-views that somebody had it in the and it was there at the end of the day. They had like $80 or $100 tag on. I got it for $20. I think it sells for like $100 on whatever. But obviously, not just me. A lot of people like they never want to deal with bulky stuff. So I'm sure you don't care about bulky stuff because you know how to deal. You know how to ship it. You already have it in your head, right? I mean,
yeah. With the easiest thing, the biggest tip I would say is people always look for one box that can fit everything. You don't need to do that. You can, like, half the time when I couldn't find a box, I would take 2 or 3 boxes and put them together. It doesn't look great. That's fine. Or the other thing is, back in the day, you could go to like any art stores or anything like that, and a lot like Bed Bath & Beyond's another good one. If you go there, they'll give out boxes, like any kind of mattress store, guitar.
I got a refrigeration place by me. Refrigeration, like
there you go.
Equipment. But now, what do you think the best kind of box for that folding chair? Like,
Is it
what do you think?
Gonna be like 24 inches by like 16 inches? And it's gonna be flat, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Should I get something deep? How deep do I need to go? I mean, I guess it's.
If you're talking about the technical rules, so where your insurance will get, like if you have insurance on it, that you're supposed to have 4 inches around the whole thing.
Okay.
A lot of people, especially on eBay, you don't get that. Do you have 4 inches around on each side? So that would be, I don't know if that's 24 by what, 16 by 2. So I guess
it's got to be higher than 20. A folding chair is how high is a folding chair? It's 3 feet high, no?
30 inches, maybe 32 inches.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what I would do, the easiest way is to wrap it first. Wrap that sucker in like bubble wrap. If you don't have bubble wrap, you can use, don't use paper or anything like that. A lot of people, for like anything fragile, use paper.
I'll use the bubble wrap. I don't care. I'll use the bubble wrap.
The easiest way is bubble wrap that thing first.
Just the shit out of it.
Then measure it after it's bubble wrap.
Mummify it.
Exactly. And then after that, don't bother looking for a box. Go get 2 or 3 other boxes and cut them open. So like they're flat cardboard. Fold it around it.
I see.
Because this is only because what you're dealing with, I'm guessing, is it's not fragile at all. It's metal, I'm guessing, with little.
It's not, but there's padding on it, and
Gotcha. So that's where the bubble.
The padded seat. It's not like a steel chair that was this. Okay. It has a picture of the wrestler's name on it, so I'm sure people want it's got to be mint.
Mo.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's up? What's up, guys?
Hey, what's up?
How you doing?
Good, good. What are you guys talking about?
Wrapping a chair.
Around somebody's neck. Steel chair, wrestling.
Is that the new thing now? Instead of a Flavor Flav clock, is that what they're wearing, the kids? The chair?
Oh, believe it or not, Flavor Flav, he's from the next town. Actually, I shouldn't even it's not even something to be proud of. He's from the next town over from me.
Which is where?
In Long Island, in New York.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah, a town called Roosevelt. That's the next town over. Actually, there's a lot of famous, but whatever. I don't think you want to hear about it.
I didn't realize he was from out there.
Yeah.
Flavor.
It's a famous town. And Howard Stern.
Yeah.
And Dr. J. And Eddie Murphy. A lot of guys.
See, those guys are icons.
Yeah,
Flavor Flav. Actually, you know what? Flavor Flav was good when he was sane. He's a little cuckoo these days.
Mm-hmm.
The Long Island Ferry one time. I've been out there once.
He used to put out some good music.
Mo, you went to Long Island? Where'd you go?
I couldn't tell you. I went to Manhattan. This is 2010, 2009, something like that. So I took the Long Island Ferry. So
Staten Island Ferry.
Staten Island. Yeah. Okay. See, that's how much I know about that. But
yeah, that's New York City.
Yeah.
I live east of New York City.
Oh, now I remember. We went around the Statue of Liberty, and for whatever reason, it was cloudy that day. They wouldn't let us get off and take a look up there. But so that was pretty cool, though. Manhattan's fun.
Yeah, a lot of action, but you got to have a lot of scarol because it's a lot of for everything over there. Just to drive there, I went to a game at Madison Square Garden, parked my car in the garage. The close one that's not blocks away had to pay like $50 to watch a game.
Wow.
So that's
yeah. I've been to Manhattan before. It's not cheap.
And where do you live?
San Jose, California.
Oh, so you guys are neighbors?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, Mo. Have you moved yet?
This is the first time I'm shooting in the. Yeah, I'm in Sacramento right now.
Okay. So we're not neighbors no more.
No. Well, I'll be up there technically permanently in 2 weeks, but basically up here already.
Okay, cool.
Hey, Young, who did you used to do a show with? You were on a show with a couple of other guys, weren't you?
Yeah, we used to do the green room hangouts.
Okay, that's where I seen you from.
Yeah. So let me get you guys' names, and I swear, and I'm gonna forget like in 10 minutes.
Bob
and
John.
Okay, cool.
Easy name, Bob and John.
Sounds like cartoon characters.
Yeah,
that's right.
Tom and Jerry.
Show, Bob and John morning show.
Ricky and Morty. Was it Ricky and Morty? Ricky and Marty? I don't know. Cool.
Morty.
It's kind of funny how you guys are all exactly on the west coast on the ocean. He's directly in the center of the country, and I'm on the other side. It's like all.
Yeah, I mean we're not on the coast, but I mean we're relatively close. I would say like about an hour drive.
Oh, an hour.
Well, at least for you, Mo. I mean, you're actually a little further now that you moved to Sacramento.
Yeah, I mean, before, Fremont to San Jose, I mean, depends on traffic, like 20 to 30 minutes or give or take. But now it's about an hour and a half, I'd say.
Look, if you live an hour from the coast, you could say you live on the coast. I had a guy in one chat say he lived on the East Coast. He says he lived in Ohio. I says, look, Ohio is not on the East Coast. Ohio's in the Midwest. It's not the East Coast. I said, can you drive to the beach? If you can't drive to the beach, then you don't live on the coast.
Maybe he's a pilot. He's flying to the beach.
That's right.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I live on the East Coast. I said, no, you live in Eastern, the time zone, but you don't live on the East Coast. So it's okay if you're an hour away, you can say West Coast.
So you guys are resellers? What do you guys specialize in?
I specialize in everything. I'm actually listing a motherboard right now out of a vintage 90s computer.
Nice. So you're kind of like me, like you don't really have anything. You just sell whatever you can make money on.
Yeah. I mean, I live in a small town south of St. Louis, so it's kind of like whatever I can get my hands on.
Hey, let me ask you, man. So how does that work out for you? Because I mean, obviously I don't know. Like living in a small town like that, like I hear people, resell in small towns. Like where do you guys go? As far as sourcing.
I'll go. We have a small town that's got a Goodwill about 15 minutes outside of my house, outside of my town, and I'll go up there 2 days a week. There's an auction company that's in the town that I live in, and they've third generation. So I do a lot there in the kitchen. Let me see if I can switch my mic. A lot of farm auction, stuff like that. But mostly I just drive to Simon because we own a small farm, and it's just a lot nicer to live in the country.
All right, cool.
And be able to drive. Well, we just find a lot of stuff. It's pretty. Here it is.
Because I feel like
in the country they got auctions. In the country they got auctions. That's what they have. We don't have really auctions in the city or in the suburbs.
I feel like and Mo, you can maybe back me up on this. I just feel like at least living here, there's just an abundant amount of crap that you can resell all the time. Like we find stuff all the time. I mean, Goodwills, garage sales, and just people leaving stuff on the sidewalk.
It's everywhere. I mean, like I said, like to pick up stuff to get my discount for Savers, I just need to go check the corner of the street half the time. There's something there. I mean, it's literally like everywhere.
Sounds like the promised land.
You remember that's San Jose is very John is a very expensive, wealthy area.
I think what I like about San Jose the best is because I think like certain parts of the other Bay Area that might be more expensive, but San Jose has the best thrift stores. I mean, from the Bay Area, I would say thrifting in San Jose between some of them are crazy expensive, but in terms of getting the best stuff, I would say San Jose.
Yeah. Well, I would say I would agree from San Jose to maybe up to Palo Alto.
Yeah.
I think once you get into San Francisco, you can find good stuff, but I don't know, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's good for clothes. But when I was back then, I wasn't doing clothes. Hey, Russ made it back.
Hey, Russ. But then I think once you get south of San Jose, it's pretty slim picking.
Yeah.
Because that's when you hit Gilroy and then just the really funky towns.
Well, you don't want to be in the farm towns. You want to be in the computer towns. That's where you want to.
No, you're right. No, absolutely right. Because that's where the money is, right? Silicon Valley.
Probably, I would say one of the
money here.
top 5 areas in the whole country, I would probably say, is San Francisco, that area where you are. Obviously, where I am in New York, Miami. What else is there? In Chicago, you got about 5 or 6 areas. You know, Toronto, and that that's where you're going to find the better stuff.
Anyone ever been to like Washington or anything
like
that?
Oh, in D.C., yes. Washington. Actually, believe it or not, Washington, D.C. is the wealthiest part of the entire country. I just read something.
I would figure, yeah.
Well, that's because all the lobbyists have moved there.
Well, I don't know. I don't know about that, and I tell you why. Because I've read a bunch of articles like that. And every article is different, right? I mean, I'm sure they're probably in the top 10, but like I'll read one article and you'll mention New York City being the most expensive place. And I read another article saying that Santa Cruz, California. I don't know if you ever read that one. Santa Cruz, California is up there, and I read one that says Silicon Valley. I'm sure they're all pretty close together, but
well, they're talking about. Well, I think it's about like median income, you know, which is what we're concerned with. Who's got the highest, you know, because like you know, and they have all the lobbyists, so the corporate lobbyists are in the counties surrounding Washington, D.C. So in Virginia, I guess Maryland is kind of right there, whatever it is. Those, you know, that's where you have the most money. I mean, look, especially look, if you're looking for higher end items, you got to look in the higher, you know, because some people, they're looking, oh, I can't find these expensive clothing brands. But guess what?
Exactly. Mo, why do you think I'm always sourcing in the Willow Glen area when I go garage sales? Because that's like the nice part of San Jose, right? I don't go anywhere else. I always go to the Willow Glen area because that's where all the nice homes are. That's where all the corporate executives live.
Exactly. And now, if you were trying to sell Civil War memorabilia, you got to go where John is or something. You know what I mean, or whatever.
Sure.
If you in California, you're not going to find. You know, people don't. They kind of get that disconnected. They watch a haul video and they're like, no. You're not going to find that in your area. So you got to take that into consideration. You know, if you live in the desert, you're not going to find fishing rods if you live in Arizona. You know what I mean? Or whatever.
Yeah. However, you'll be surprised. Or every now and then you'll find that one person.
I got to watch Jeopardy, the Tournament of Champions.
Okay.
So peace out. It's great talking to you, Jeff. Have a nice day.
Hey, be sure to clean all your Little League trophies.
He's gone.
So who we got on? We got Young and.
Hey, Russ.
Young, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
Good and hot.
I bet. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not as hot as it gets like out in Arizona right now, but we're under. If you've ever been to like New Orleans, we're New Orleans hot right now. It's that muggy, steaming. So, how are you doing, John? How's things back in Missouri?
Buttwall, Missouri. It's pretty good. Missouri. I'm fighting my internet trying to upload images. I'm just it's Newman. No, but I just everything's doing good.
Awesome.
No problems. I did the other day, and I was thinking of you. I did air on my YouTube channel. We went over there to pass out some flyers.
I saw that. And then you also went up to St. Louis, and I did not get an Emo's pizza or any Overly sausage yet.
I know. I said, man, I'm thinking about Russ. I said, because we drove we're right past the meat processing place where they make Overly.
Okay, go ahead and disconnect him now, Mo. Go right ahead and just.
All right,
yeah, but I was, I would like to live in Austin. I watch a lot of one of my favorite YouTubers, is Bonafide Hustler. He's an awesome guy, and I see the stuff that he finds down there, and I'm just like, man, that's crazy. It's just there's so much awesome stuff there to find, and I drool. Like, we own a farm, and it's probably worth maybe $300,000, maybe $350,000. But I'm waiting. They're getting ready to do cobalt mining in Missouri. In fact, I'm at ground zero for the richest cobalt deposits in all of the United States in Madison County. So I'm hoping when they come in and start doing some mining, that my property just goes, whoop, keeps going up, and then we're going to sell and we're going to move somewhere else. We're going to move to another. We're looking about Savannah.
Coming here. Yeah, you're coming here.
Yeah.
I really like this area.
I'm thinking about Athens, Georgia, because that's real close to Atlanta.
Yeah.
And I watch my favorite YouTubers, and I'm like, there's not really too many people that are Atlanta, and I think that would make a lot of really good content to live in that area. Good time so far to scout out houses.
I was catching the tail end of the conversation, and something that we, as sourcers, that we always forget, and the successful ones that do this, they do make money. Your online sourcing. If you want the top end stuff, you can online source and still get it at a price. You can lowball offer, and people will sell it, and then you turn around and flip it. So sometimes we think of sourcing as strictly a hands-on, we have to go get it, and it's because we maximize our profits. We want to pay $1 for everything and sell it for 100. That's just, the home run area we've always talked about.
It's hard to do.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best thing to do, but, like right now, I'm picking up calculated that TI-84s, I'm paying up to $25 a pop for them. But I know they sell within hours at $50, $60, and sometimes they sell local for $50, $60. So, if I saw some TI-84s online for $15, $20, I'd buy them right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I've thought about making a list. I'm sorry, Young.
No, go ahead, man.
I've thought about making a list of stuff that just moves quick: Nintendo 64, Super Nintendo, TI-83s, TI-84s, those Polaroid cameras, and just go with it. Just about the second you list it, you hear the cha-ching, and figuring out a price range to where you can live, because it's going to sell quick, that you can make money on it, and just like throwing that up on bulletin boards and throwing it up. I made on my website, if you go to showmepickers.com, I made a PDF, and you can download it, and I print that flyer out, and I print it, and I stick it on this I've got this paper here in my desk. Let me grab a piece of it real quick. But I print it out on really bright colored paper, and like this right here, and that's that neon green. And I'll print that out, and oh boy, we got Scott. And I hang them up everywhere, because this bright colored paper shows up everywhere. And something else that I do is I buy spare car parts. So what I'll do is I'll print off some of these, go to a car show, put car parts wanted. Do you have extra spare car parts, new, old stock, stuff like that. And as you walk by people's cars, you just slam one in their front seat with the rest of the flyers. And sometimes you'll get phone calls. So sometimes it's really thinking outside of the box. But being able to pay a little bit more for that merchandise, knowing that it's going to flip in a very short time, I think that you could probably, especially in my area, because it's economically depressed. Right. If someone's paying somebody $25 calculator that they're going to be able to flip real quick for 65 to 70, you're probably going to get a couple phone calls, and that's just a nice way to pad your sales a little bit.
Yeah, you got to work it. So, and we have Bearded Picker join us.
How is everybody?
Hey,
cool.
Good. Thanks for joining us.
I've been watching. I was trying to finish my dinner before I came on.
He was waiting for Krillin to sneak out.
Man, he is a trip.
Where are you from?
Love Bearded? Krillin.
I'm in the great state of Alabama. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. What part?
I'm in Huntsville.
Huntsville. Okay. I lived in Prattville and then Mobile.
Yeah, I lived in Tuscaloosa for about 15 years. I went to school there, and then we moved away and came. My wife's from here. We came back.
Gotcha. So we were kind of talking about like sourcing in your area and stuff and finding the good stuff, and I immediately think of Huntsville. Some of the older estates that I would hit, I'd be looking for NASA stuff, photos, rocket photos. Do you find that you're finding some old NASA stuff up in that area?
I've been here 2 years and I've seen it in 5 estate sales. I can remember each one of them. There's one of them that was super loaded and then the prices went high, but there are a lot of them you just sort of trip over. Oh, wait a minute, it's laying here. I'm at NASA t-shirts, NASA hats, lots of memorabilia.
And you see, if you would think, well, because some of that NASA stuff can go absolutely crazy, especially if it's marked with official documents or official stamps, and you wouldn't know that. You would think Huntsville. Most people would think Huntsville, Alabama, is some small little hick town, but what a great sourcing opportunity in that area.
And it's in a pretty good area. It's 400,000 people. It's a decent sized town.
Right.
I'm an hour and a half from Nashville, an hour and a half from Birmingham, and 3 from Atlanta. I'm going to Atlanta tomorrow, but so I can get to Memphis in 3 hours. So I've got a pretty good area of a lot of population.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're about 7 hours from the coast?
Yeah. Depends on how I drive.
the way he drives, he's about 4 hours.
4.5, yeah.
Yeah.
I've done the coast thing. I lived in Wilmington, North Carolina for about 15 years, and so it done the beach. I can take it or leave it.
Oh, I love the beach. It'd be more take it.
Beach can be nice. I like being close. I don't go to it as much as I used to, but I kind of miss my woods sometimes. That's a lot. When we were on the full-time RV, we spent some time in the woods. And then we went out to Texas and spent a lot of time in the woods.
I don't think of woods. When I think of Texas, I think of desert. It
was quote out in the woods,
Yeah.
Out in the country.
Can you guys believe that there's people that never seen the beach in this country?
Oh, I live in a town, bro.
There are. What's the population now? 50% of U.S. lives within an hour or something drive to a beach, hour and a half drive, something like that.
Is that right? But
yeah.
no, it's just. I mean, I've met people who they never seen the beach. I mean, other than like on television or in photos or something. But yeah,
I think
it just always amazes me.
That should be you should do that as early in your life as possible, to stand on that beach, stare out, and know how insignificant you are in the grand scheme of things. It really kind of puts stuff in perspective. It's like, whoa, I am not important at all. Look how big that is.
What puts it in perspective, John, is when you're in the water and something bumps into you out in the water, and you happen to see the size of it, you get in perspective that we are also just prey.
That's right.
Yeah, that's
in the ocean, we're not at the top of the food chain.
Yeah, living in Wilmington, there's a female great white that they've got tagged, and she goes up and down the East Coast, but she spends a lot of time off the coast of Wilmington. I'm like,
She never Mary gets really, Lee, isn't it? I think that's Mary Lee.
Mary Lee. She never gets very close, but she's always out there somewhere. I'm like,
She in the wintertime, she comes down this way. And they go out and they try. The SS Savannah, I believe, it's a research vessel, has actually pulled her in and retagged her, and she is massive.
Yeah, we just got over Shark Week. That was a lot of fun.
That's crazy.
I'm trying to think of the first time I saw the beach. Actually, the first time I saw the beach was in England, and you think beaches are nice here? They're horrible over there. Water is cold, and beaches aren't even, they're like rocky, like stones. And
hey, Young, do you have a channel still? I was thinking about you the other day.
I guess technically I do have a channel, but I just, I've talked about this in the past. Like YouTube's never been my platform because I just hate editing. Right? I mean, like doing like a 5-10 minute video. I mean, it can take like over an hour to edit, right? Like for instance, Glenn, right? You guys watch Hustler Hacks videos, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
he's like so on point with his editing. Even like a 10-minute video, it'll take him over like an hour. And I just look, man, with my schedule, I don't have time to do stuff like that. I'm constantly trying to do other things. So yeah, I guess technically I do have a channel still, but I'm more, you know, I've been doing the whole print on demand thing lately. Really trying to scale that. Doesn't mean that I quit reselling. I mean, I do still resell. But yeah, so me and Glenn, we've been doing the whole podcast thing, and that's what I prefer, because the podcast is easy, right? Like, you know, when you start talking, you know when you stop talking, you do some light editing here and there, and that's it. You just upload it and you're done.
Yeah.
Edit.
Right. I mean the video. I mean, like, you gotta do the fade in and the fade out. Are you gonna have like a music, you know, in the background? It's just too much. Oh my god.
Or do like me, or do like Mo and I do.
Or you can just do it live. Yeah.
We just do it live, and we throw the live on the podcast, and there's never been, I think when we first started out, Mo, we edited a couple and went, no, this ain't for us. Yeah.
I'm with Young. It's too much work. I mean,
I put clips
but
together.
Thank God for those guys that do that.
I put clips together, and I might take a part out here or there, but other than that, I mean, I don't do a lot of editing. I just put them together and let it go.
Yeah, no, it's I mean, I wish I could do something like that. I just don't have the time. I don't even really like watching YouTube videos, to be honest with you. Every now and then I might have a video going, and then I'll have it playing in the back as I'm working on the computer. But the last couple of years, I've been audio books and stuff like that. So
yeah, that's probably a lot better way to spend your time. I used to buy out. I had a white van. It was a real nice little Astro van. I should have never sold the damn thing. And I'd go out, and I'd always find stuff in Shallow Hal, the guru on there, the real
Tony
big tall
Robbins.
guy. I love him, Tony Robbins.
Yeah.
And I would CD set of his, and I would just, man, I listened to that all the time, and it just made me a better person. And you're right, that's probably a better way to spend your time, but I don't know. Where's your podcast at now?
yeah, you can just go onto iTunes and do Merch Minds podcast. We just pretty much talk. Yeah, we just pretty much talk print on demand. That's pretty much what I've been trying to focus on. It's been really hard though.
What episode number are you guys up to now?
What do you?
Pretty high.
I think this week's gonna not this week, but next week's gonna be 93.
I was gonna say you've been pumping some content out. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mo.
Demand.
Someone had a question.
I did.
Oh.
What do you mean print on demand?
It's basically uploading. So there's a bunch of print platforms, but Amazon's by far the most popular one. Basically, you upload a design onto Amazon, and then if a customer sees your design on a T-shirt or a sweatshirt or a hoodie, and if they buy it, what Amazon would do is they'll print that apparel, and they'll ship it out, you know, and they'll take care of all the customer service. So they do all the grunt work. I just collect a small royalty, and that's it.
John,
that's cool.
John, if I'm gonna bust you out here for a second, but if you would have checked our past episodes, you would see that Young, we have go look at our past episodes. We do have Young, and he comes on and talks all about print on demand. That's a good plug for that one, because really informative. Young has just got massive amount of knowledge, and he's skilled too. He's not just, you know, he's a graphic artist from way, you know, he's been, how long you been a graphic artist? You know, 25 years, 20 years?
Let's see. Technically, I've been doing it since '89, and let me clarify that. When last time I told someone that, they lost their mind. They're like, "What are you talking about since '89?" I've been taking classes since '89.
Right.
I've been doing it professionally since, oh gosh, the mid 2000s or something like that.
Right.
So
I mean, you've got those mad skills, and you're not, you know, Young knows what he's talking about when it comes to print on demand. And that episode, we talked about all the other options, the Print Z and the Printful.
Printful, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a really neat good information on that.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised you haven't heard about it yet, John, because a lot of people from the reselling community kind of went there.
I've heard it brought up, but I never had a guy right in front of me that's like doing it. And I like, is that? What do you mean print on demand? I mean,
yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I mean, it's just selling T-shirts. That's all. And I just collected the royalty. I mean, there are people that are doing really good. I mean, I know a guy who's consistently doing $20,000 a month every month. I'm like, man. Yeah. And the guy was driving Uber and Lyft up until he started doing that, and then he's just started really.
Is he doing his own designs?
I think he's doing both. I think he's doing his own, and then he's outsourcing.
So he's almost, when he's doing, is that 20,000 a month profit royalty?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's the average.
So
I mean, obviously some months are higher than others, but on the average, he's doing about 20,000.
And basically, what he's doing, John, is he's designing out a design to put on a T-shirt, or now they've got hoodies, sweatshirts, cups, mugs. He's putting that design together, uploading it, and people like it and see it and buy it, and he sits back and just collects the royalties. Every time it sells, he gets a royalty. So 20 grand a month, the man ain't working that hard now, because it's just rolling in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure.
I have a buddy that's a graphic designer. I don't even think he knows anything about this. He's the guy that designed my business logo, and he's fantastic. He's done stuff for like Loretta Lynn, Jack White, the White Stripes. Jack White's wife had a band. He just does absolutely fantastic stuff. And I had an epiphany about this, and Nashville, and I went to American Pickers, and I'm like, they're not selling antiques, they're selling shirts and bumper stickers and stuff like that. And then I was like,
of course they're gonna do that.
That's really where the money is.
Yeah.
And I was like, you came up with a cost for T-shirts, and I think that it'd be cool. Like I'd said something, I'd said it'd call like Rusted Roots T-shirts company or something like that. These T-shirt designs, because I've got a bunch of them in my head, but I'm not a graphic artist, so it's bam to there. But these ideas to a graphic artist and say, draw, and let's run with it, because is to open an antique store. But what I want to have at the front of the antiques, my own antique bumper stickers and stuff like that, because that's just where it's where a lot of your money is going to come from. My advice to anyone that has ever thought about opening up like a flea market booth is, everybody that walks through that door wants to buy something. So you've got to put stuff either out there that they're going to buy, or price stuff that they don't want at a price to where they just can't pass it up. And we do consistently 700-800 antique booth, and it's not a lot of good stuff. All my good stuff goes to eBay, but it's just interesting. I'm gonna go watch your podcast. I'm gonna go look at that.
Speaking of eBay, I think you guys are bringing me good luck. I just sold something on eBay.
Nice. Good for you, bro. That's awesome.
Yeah. All right. That's cool.
There's nothing better. There's nothing better than that cha-ching. There is.
I sold a DC grill off yesterday, and I'm gonna mess with my camera here for a second. I don't know if you can. there, but you can kind of see the top of the box there. But that package is almost fine, and it was a horrible thing to have to package, but we made almost $200. I was pretty excited. That was the thing that I went to buy for. I think I paid for it, and it just led into buying more and more and more stuff. So it was pretty cool. I love big stuff. I wrapped it in a moving blanket and put bubble wrap on. So like I'm not afraid of. My wife hates it. The stuff that nobody else is listing.
But yeah, I've kind of shied away from bigger stuff these days because I just absolutely hate having that stuff in the house. So I've kind of changed my whole eBay strategy to the point where I want to do small stuff and stuff that I can sell for like $20 or more, unless it's something big and I know I can sell it like within a day or two. Then I might get it, but I just hate having that stuff in the house, man. I mean, between all my little projects that I'm doing and my day job, it's just man, I just can't do it anymore.
It's hard because we're moving up here, and I've got a bigger garage than the one we had before. But even then, trying to figure out where you're going to put everything. I'm going to have to. I mean, because I've been doing a lot of eBay clothing, a lot of other stuff. It just takes up too much room. Right?
It does.
I don't know what the hell I'm going to do.
So much space.
I mean, but see, where I live at in the Midwest, like, I mean, I own 40 acres. Like, so, like, another house on my farm. I've got a barn. I've got an outbuilding. So,
nice.
That's one of the things that space is not a premium here. So, able to, I have my buddy.
I was looking at Beard's picture. It looks like you've got a basement set up.
No, January 1st, I built a 2-car garage behind the house.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
So now I have both garages full of crap.
Well, and John's got a point. There are places where, like John's got 40 acres. Can you imagine building a 2-car garage in San Jose or in Oakland or in Fremont or Sacramento on your property? How much would that cost you guys?
Too much.
Oh man, a 2-car garage.
Extra building, an extra.
First of all, land is so rare. I mean, you would have to build that damn thing vertically almost.
Yeah. It's getting it would take forever too.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? I mean, if you want to do it right, I would say what? I mean, I'm probably not the right person to ask. I'm gonna guess like maybe 80,000. What do you think, Mo?
Yeah, I was thinking right in there.
Because like let me see. My friend is right now. He's redoing his whole roof on his house, and that's costing him 10,000. Yep. So a full 2-car garage, I'm thinking that's got to be 80,000 at the minimum.
And if you're going to extend your house and do that, that's going to be even more.
Yeah. Well,
I was all in. I was all in 27,000, and I put extra concrete on it to push it up.
Wow. You did it yourself, though, right?
No, I had a contractor do it. It's got a brick front on it because it has to match the house, and it's got siding on the sides and the back. But it had to have
27,000.
Yep. And I poured. We poured an extra truck of concrete to put a 10-foot pad on one side to hold a 10 by 20 pad to hold my trailer, and up front I poured around the air conditioner because it didn't make any sense to have a little bit of grass right beside the air conditioner. I'm like, just concrete it all.
Yeah.
It's only money when you're the king of Amazon.
You can't take it when you're dead.
Your building costs, like out in California, I think the average right now in most parts of the nation is about $125 per square foot. Is where, like California, it's almost $300 per square foot. So that's where your extra. I mean, it's just
Dang.
And then, like I said, land in the cost.
My permit costs were crazy. I actually had to go get pull my own power permit. It was $25.
Did they make you do a? Did they hit you for a culvert one too?
No, I live in the county. I live in the county, so I just had to have. There was like one cost. Yeah. It was like $100 total in permits.
Wow.
Hey guys, I gotta get going. I have another show
Best part
to do.
about living in the. See.
Excuse me. But I have to get going. I got another show that I'm doing at 6, so I gotta get ready for that. But it was a pleasure meeting everyone. Mo, give me a call next time you're in town, dude. Let's do lunch or something.
I will. All right,
and Russ, it was good seeing you again, my friend.
Good seeing you too, y'all.
Okay, guys.
Take care, bud.
Bye.
I was trying to think of him the other day because I knew that he used to do a show, and it was the Grease Ham, Bonafide, and Rakin, and that was the show they used to do way back when. Bonafide was probably the first guy that I started watching on YouTube. Here he is. I was like, oh, there he is. How about that?
Yeah.
Young is just
super down to earth,
nice guy. Yeah, super down to earth, and you can call him up and at any time. Hey, I got a question, and he's just real helpful, and he has a passion for helping people. He really does.
He's always my favorite, one of my favorite guys on that show. Always liked him a lot.
Yeah, we went garage selling actually a couple times. So he knows his stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We've all learned from both. I think we've all learned from Young and Steve and Chris. Those guys always pump out good content and just constantly pumping out. It's good to see Chris Bonafide back putting out content. And
yeah, I'm glad that he's doing stuff on his other channel. His Bod Damn, I like watching some of that stuff because I'm motivated to actually lose weight.
Yeah, I'm there with you, bud. Well, I'm gonna jump off too, gentlemen. My posterior doesn't take sitting too much longer, so.
Yeah. Well, why don't we try and do this again? We'll try and do this again some other time. But
yeah, that's cool.
But thanks, guys.
I appreciate you tagging me in those posts because I do enjoy you. I do enjoy you and Russ. I gravitate towards your personalities, and you're really.
Oh, appreciate it. I can't wait for you to get back down here. We'll do some picking.
Hopefully, my wife. If it was up to her, we'd be down there right now, bro. You would be down there.
Well, come on. She's a
redhead, but she's a beach bum, so she'll look like a crab when we get down there. She'll be as red as a crab.
Yeah, that sounds beat down and bearded. It was great meeting you.
It's very nice to meet you guys.
Yeah, I'll do this again. I'll put the link out next time. I'll tag all you guys next time. I'm pretty bad about tagging people, but I'll do it next time.
So what was your name? Your name is John. You live in Missouri. Your name is John. Okay, I got you.
Okay. Well, you guys have a good day.
All right, take it easy, guys.
See ya, right.
See ya.